Welcome to this video that introduces the concluding process in the Praxis Framework process model. It's called the closure process. You will gain more from this video if you have viewed content on the overall process structure and the Praxis delivery model. These are available in the videos section of our website and our YouTube channel. Every project and program starts with an idea. Over the course of the life cycle, this idea is developed and the objectives delivered, resulting in benefits for the person or organization that is funding the work. While all project and program life cycles follow the same basic phases, the way those phases are managed can vary considerably depending on the nature of the work. In this video, I'll introduce the process concluding the project or program team's work. The closure process has 3 goals. These are to shut down a project or program when it has completed the work set out in its definition documentation. Terminate a project or program if it is unlikely to produce sufficient value. Review the governance and management of the project or program and document lessons learned. The closure process is usually invoked by the conclusion of the work set out in the definition documentation, including agreed changes along the way. However, it may also be invoked by a request for authorization being denied. This occurs when the business case is no longer deemed to be achievable or viable. Preparation for closure should start as soon as practicable, not waiting until the last minute. Seemingly simple activities such as handover and demobilization can be involved and time-consuming, so thorough preparation is important. At an appropriate point, the completed objectives will be handed over to whoever is responsible for their continued operation. This could be informal but may involve contractual handover where legal responsibilities are transferred. Reviewing the work done and the lessons learned is also included in the boundaries process and should be performed throughout the life cycle. This activity is the conclusion of that learning process where final conclusions are drawn, particularly with regard to the business case. Once handover is completed, a request is submitted to the sponsor for authorization to shut down the project or program. This leads to the demobilization that can include staff redeployment, sale of assets, and final accounting activities. The basic activities in the closure process don't change significantly with the uncertainty and scope axes of the Praxis delivery model. It is the technical nature of the work and the contractual context that have most impact on the volume and type of work that must be completed during this process. However, in high agility projects, many component products will have been delivered incrementally during the course of the delivery phase. These may have been handed over formally during delivery, leaving only the final loose ends to be tied up by the closure process. This has been a quick introduction to the closure process in the Praxis Framework process model. In summary, it's important to prepare for closure in advance rather than wait for the day all the work is done. The conclusion of the project or program will have a big impact on how stakeholders perceive its success. Capturing and recording lessons learned is vital to the success of future projects and programs. Effective demobilization should be sustainable with respect to assets and sensitive with regard to team members. To get more information about this process, please visit the closure process page in the methods section of the Praxis Framework website.